Hello, everyone. This is Annalisa. I'm going to do today the forecast for January 18th to the 24th of 2021. And of course, this week I have chosen the Mayan cards. But you will also be getting every day, if you're interested, a card of the day, which will be posted every day, one each day. But I'd like to go over first a little bit about the past week, which we have had the continuation of the clashes of the Mars that went into Taurus at the beginning of the month. It feels like a bulldog going through the China cabinet. The cardinal signs last year handed off all the issues that they began, because cardinal signs begins and then the fixed sign finishes. So they handed off all these issues for the fixed sign, and of course Mars went into a fixed sign, it transited into a fixed sign. So Mars cannot control himself, so he conjuncting with the rebellious visionary Uranus, let's fix this. And of course Mars does first and then thinks later. So that we saw the clashes between innovative visionaries and established status quos. The energy of another theme that we experienced was the domineering ambitious Pluto, conjuncting the out of bounds new moon that we also had in Capricorn as well, which caused that kind of a showdown of David and Goliath. Then we also saw two planets going direct. One could be called a planet, the other one I'm not so sure, but we had Iris going direct, which is the sister of Mars, the warrior. And then we also had the Uranus going direct in Taurus as well. And then it squared off with Jupiter in Aquarius, where we experienced that kind of a extreme, eccentric, rebellious, radical themes. And some of those themes were fighting for truth and liberty and freedom, and others being fanatically with fascist threats. So we look ahead now for the week ahead, and I have a theme for it, which is burn it all down. The three planets of unrest and rebellion, upheavals, and so forth, are meeting up this week and creating a frenzy, anarchy. On Tuesday, the sun goes into Aquarius, where it's creating a stellium. A stellium, what is a stellium? A stellium is more than three planets in the same sign. So we have the Jupiter, the Saturn, the Mercury, the node of the moon, and the sun now. And then in a little while, in a few weeks, I think by the end of this month, Venus will also go there. So I feel that we haven't seen such a stellium like we're going to see at the end of the month when Venus goes in there since 1962. That was the last time that stellium was like that in Aquarius. So there's a history to it. So we will on Wednesday, we will see the warrior Mars conjunct the radical Uranus in Taurus. The moon that half of that day, which is the most important time of that day, will be at 26 degrees of Aries, squaring off with Pluto. When any planet is at late degrees of the sign or where they are, they kind of show the shadow side of themselves, the ugly part. That day, of course, the moon is squaring off with Pluto, and we know what Pluto, what the moon can do, which is, and we also have that day is also a major day for U.S. because whatever happens in U.S. happens to the rest of the world because it's the most important country of the world, so it affects all of us in the rest of the world. So, what is that day? That's the inauguration, presidential inauguration day, if it takes place. We'll see. That day, there's that radical edge. There's that iron-fisted energy. There's this part. What is the metaphor of this part? The metaphor of this part is cruel, all conditional rulers. For example, this part does not allow people to speak out against leaderships, nor really wants them to have much freedom at all. That's at this part. We're experiencing in history Hitler, Jim Jones, those kind of fanatics. It's total breakdowns and breakthroughs, no matter where you are in the world. We have to stay in place of peace with ourselves and God, or whatever the universe, be whatever you hold dear to your soul or to your spirit or to your being, because this is not going to last for too long. I feel January and February will be our worst months of the year. Not saying that they will not continue to face challenge, because change brings challenges anyway, but I feel that month of January and February do have the worst aspects. Okay, so it's the breaking down of the old, and so we can be able to go to the new. So the Mayan, so let's go to the cards. The Mayan Tarot, which I have had a fascination with it. Don't practice much of it, but I do have a fascination with it. The Mayan civilization reached the maximum splendor between the 3rd and the 12th century BC. During that period, the Mayans kind of attained such a development that archaeologists themselves today would not have believed it. It was possible to achieve these kind of things, but they did. Today they would not believe that was possible a few years ago, that the Mayans were able to achieve such a knowledge, and they achieved and excelled nearly in all fields of life and human knowledge. Above all, they achieved in mathematics, they achieved in architecture, they achieved in art, and they also were very big in astronomy. Each branch of their scientific studies was based on balanced interactions with nature and the territory. For the Mayans, the cosmos the cosmos consisted a set of celestial and terrestrial gods for them. They were gods for them in astronomy. The cosmos consisted of that. They consisted of celestial and terrestrial gods for the Mayans. For this reason, magic and shamanism is a common practice of their culture. Now, the cards were already preset, so here it goes. For Monday, we have the number 13, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is trust in the gods. She uses her own power with justice and chooses to get involved and take command of any situation. She's ready, and she initiates any action or any project with gracious, assertive ambitious, spontaneous, and confidence archetype. So that's the Queen of Wands. But remember, every day there's that card which will tell you more about it. Then we on January 19th we have the Six of Swords, which is the minds have a say that he who is a prisoner of his own fears makes himself late. He must free himself from his limits. The craving for affection, acceptance is very active with the Six of Swords, but learning detachment is what you may need. Being bold and impulsive today is not advisable with the Six of Swords. It's a very energetic period, and you may feel feisty and argumentative, but it's time to be mindful, activate openness, and exercise your authenticity. Be accepting and trust the creative spirit within you. Okay, then we have the Five of Swords. What the Mayans say about the Five of Swords? He who feels honors high. He who fails to honor higher beings deserves to be punished and dishonored, and will suffer dire remorse. There's disruption and crisis that you can't control with the Five of Swords. And the theme of instability, uncertainty, breaking of old routine, where new adjustments have to be applied. We know what Five of Swords, if you know a little bit about the tarot, we know what the Five of Swords is. It's confrontations, it's disruption, it's you trying to prove the point, and there's no other way about it. But the minds put it in a different context. So the need to be recognized and hold powers are strong. Today, with the challenge of perfectionism, this is the day that also that the U.S. presidential inauguration may take place. We could expect to see clashes and street violence in that day. January 21st, we have the Chariot. The Chariot in the Mayans is the eagle warrior. His eyes sees victory. His hand is steady with his weapons. He wields them with great ability, dominating the material world without fearing the creatures that inhabit the jungle. So in other words, it's a warrior. And with the spirits of nightmares. So he is strong and intelligent, but if you cannot match his strength, do not follow him into the battle, because you would commit a great error and face defeat. So, in other words, if you're not strong enough to face battle, do not go into battle. You may be pulled in many different directions and need to maintain a straight course by allowing your rational mind to take charge of the conflicting desires of will and appetite. Issues of balance, responsibility, self-trust, integrity, as you are trying to live in alignment with a higher wisdom of the heart. Then we have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, which is a figure. What the Mayans say about the Six of Pentacles is it's a figure concealed by veils of first gifts, only to gain something, meaning that you give to gain. Without compassion, morality cannot exist. Sharing your resources, being generous, acting with kindness, material well-being with the steady efforts will bring you achievements in work, money, and health. Combining material success today and the creative energies may guide you to authority and compassion, where you may find yourself fighting for the freedom and equality of other people less fortunate than you. Then we have the judgment on January 23. The judgment is called they call the coming of, let me see if I don't trash that name, Kuka Clan. Not Kuku Clan, as you well know, but it's Kukul Clan. Kuka Clan. Kuka Clan. There you go. He was a king, a mystic, a prophet. He taught peace, ethics, and spiritual progression of becoming a god. He bears spirituality, mysticism, civilization, and the promise of resolution or resurrection. I'm sorry. If you lose hope and expect too much, if you somehow you lose your hope and you expect too much from yourself, burn yourself in remorse, he will not return anything to establish order and enforce his law, meaning that you will not be granted what he is promising. Then we have the Walt, which is called the Ceiba tree. This is a cosmic tree from which the universe and under whose branches one may find the two wise men and shamans with the energy of everyday life, is unique and sacred. From beneath its branches, you can see the entire world. Dominate all the energies, direct yourself in all 7 directions, and set your path with intensity. Be cautious when the counterpart of that is not there, because if not, the tree of Ceiba will be cut and all will fall into chaos and fall into hopelessness. A sure success where great compassion is given, that's what the world means. A voyage or a new route of actions. Articulating and feelings of optimism will be in place, and great mental focus. I wish you well, my friends. This was a pleasure. I hope that I was clear enough. Please subscribe at my YouTube, because this video will be there, and also at metaphysicalcove.com. God bless, love and light. Thank you.